Ẹ̀ńbẹ̀ wọn onílé lóko, ẹ sì kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Hey guys, it's Aderonke again. Today I'd like to talk about another Yoruba proverb. And the title of this one is Èèyàn sunwon laaye. Èèyàn sunwon laaye. Now the full proverb is Èèyàn sunwon laaye. Ọjọ́ tí a bá kú or Ijo. Ijo and Ọjọ́ mean the same thing. Tí a bá kú là ń dere. Now it can be shortened to Èèyàn sunwon laaye. Ọjọ́ a bá kú là ń dere. Èèyàn sunwon laaye. Ọjọ́ a bá kú là ń dere or Ijo a bá kú là ń dere means the same thing. You don't have to put kin, but if you want to include these words, and I would explain what they mean, of course, word for word, it's Èèyàn ò kí ń sunwon laaye. Ọjọ́ or Ijo tí a bá kú là ń dere. So what does this mean? Èèyàn. This is the word for word transliteration now. Èèyàn is a contraction of the word Eniya. Eniya is a person. Èèyàn is a person. Èèyàn, person. Eniya, person. Same thing. Okin. If you say O, just O, and you don't include the kin, like I said, it will be is not. If you put kin, you're saying is usually not or often not. So the kin there gives the usually or often sense to that part. Sunwon. Sunwon is good or satisfactory. Now, Iwon is measurement, right? Iwon is measurement. So, Sunwon gives a sense of something that when you measure is good enough. It's like at the level that it should be, or it's basically if you go to the market and purchase something and the weight and it's the exact way that it's supposed to have, or Sunwon, it's good, it's balanced, it's satisfactory, if you will. Sunwon, good, satisfactory, up to the level that they should be, right? Láàyè is a contraction of two words. Ní ààyè. Ní ààyè. Ní ààyè is or láàyè basically is alive. Alive. Ààyè is the state of living. Ààyè is the state of living. So ní ààyè is alive. You being in the state of living, being alive. Ọjọ́ and Ijo, like I said, they both mean the same thing. They both mean day. So Ọjọ́, Ijo means the same thing, day. They may just be like different dialects, but I can't tell which is which. I can't tell what what people in what Yoruba communities use Ọjọ́ more frequently than I feel like we use both like the same way. I don't think, well, I'm not sure, I can't say for sure, but I've heard the same set of people say Ọjọ́ and Ijo, so means the same thing, day. T is that. Again, you may not want to include T, which means that in a sentence. There are certain sentences that don't really need that for them to make a complete sense. A can be we. A can also be used in the sense of a person, a human being, a person, a human being. Can also be used in the sense of we as human beings or we as a certain group of people, just we. Ba is included in a sentence to express the uncertainty or irregularity of something. If, when, in certain cases. Ba can be if or when in certain cases. But if I say Tí Ronke bá dé, when Ronke comes back, I may not necessarily know when Ronke will come back, and I may, but Ronke has not come back yet. I'm only hoping that they come back at the time that they have said they will come back. So, like I said, it's used to express the uncertainty or irregularity of something. The next sentence is ku, die. So, Ọjọ́ a bá kú, on the day that we die. Ba here is used to express the uncertainty. We don't know. I don't know when death will come. kind of thing. So ijo abaku, on the day that it comes, the ba here is used to express an irregularity or uncertainty. Ku, like I said, is die. Ku, die. The next word is la. La. And la is a contraction of two words, ni a. Ni a. Ni here would be is or is when. Could be is when, depending on the sentence. Could be on, so it really depends on the sentence. In this case, it's is when. It is when you're transliterating it that you have to figure out what the best English transliteration would be for this. So is when. Is we, or it can also be a person. It can also be used to infer like a person, but usually it's we. When you use in a sentence, you give it the sense of something that happens, that is happening in the present, or something that happens. Something that happens. The next word here is dere. Dere is a contraction of two words. Di, ere, di is become. Di, become. So di, become. Ere, ere is statue. Dere, become statue. Become statue is something that happens continuously. It's something that happens constantly. Èèyàn kì í sunwọ láàyè. Ọjọ́ abákú, ijó abákú là ń dere. What does this mean? It means a person is often not good or satisfactory when they're alive. The day we die, or the day a person dies, that, or if you want, you can include that. If you don't want to, that's okay. Like I said in this T, that's that. You don't have to include that. So the day we die, or the day a person dies, is the day we become, or it's the day a person becomes a statue. A person is often not good or satisfactory when they're alive. It is the day that we die, or it is the day that a person dies, that they become a statue. What does this mean? This is the transliteration now. Don't mind the fact that it may not be maybe there should be a comma somewhere, but this is the transliteration. Don't judge the language by English standards. Try not to do so. The translation is, a person is not often considered good enough when they're alive. A person, nobody's ever considered good or perfect enough by everybody, or at least almost everybody, when they're alive. It is the day that a person dies that they become enshrined or immortalized. Now I have several examples here. Let's start from someone like Fela Anikulapo Kuti. Let's move to Martin Luther King, and let's move to even Jesus. Let's move to Malcolm X. Let's move to Michael Jackson. Let's move to Nipsey Hussle, whose passing is the most recent of this list. Let's move to people like Socrates, for example. Now, if you look into some of these people, these are famous people. These are famous people. Now, when you look at each of their lives, you discover that when they were alive, they were judged by human standards. They were not as much as they've become deified to an extent now, which is rightfully so, depending on what they did for their people, or in what form that they impacted people positively. When they were alive, let's not deceive ourselves that they were liked by all. Fela had several wives. There was a day that he married like over 20 wives in one day, and he did smoke a lot. Now, when he was alive, he wasn't really liked by all. Like, as a matter of fact, there were many parents that would not let their children play with his children. You know, he was a freedom fighter, but people like to, even if he wasn't that kind of, people like to judge him by what they considered imperfect. And he wasn't a perfect person. They like to judge him by his imperfections. So they'll say, oh, that fella, what does he have to offer us? Now that he is gone, you know, everybody wants to be friends with, like, at least one of his children. Everybody wants to know them. Everybody wants them to follow back. I don't know. Your last name is Kuti. Are you related to Fela Anikulapo Kuti by any chance? Oh, Actually, my grand uncles. I mean, obviously, you're not related. Stop lying. You just have to lie. But everybody wants to claim that ancestry now. But when he was alive, it wasn't that good enough. It wasn't that perfect. I mean, according to certain people's standards. When you look at Martin Luther King, do you think every black person liked him, or every Caucasian person liked him? Oh, he's doing too much. Oh, that man. Oh, it's this and it's that. It's not if it's not a saint. Why are you guys listening to him? What does he have to offer the black community? It is now that it's gone and there's like an holiday in his name or whatever, and there are statues of him here and there, that people are like, oh, Martin Luther King. Oh, actually, it was Zadie, and it was, it was the. When you were alive, you didn't keep that. When the man was alive, you didn't keep that same energy. Your ancestors didn't keep that same energy. Those who knew him personally did not. So this is another person who wasn't considered good enough. And then when you move to even Jesus, that we're celebrating now, or the world is celebrating now, as at this time, when he was alive, do you think people liked him? Oh, he's calling himself the Son of God. And why is he clairvoyant? Why does he have the gift of healing? And why is he why is he claiming Son of God? And why is he healing people and helping people on a day that he should not? And look at how angry he's getting, and see how he's breaking stuff. And is this the son? Why is okay? But why is he making friends with sex workers, and why is he moving with tax collectors? It wasn't that liked. It wasn't like, as a matter of fact, it was even murdered publicly. Let's put it plainly in human terms. When you think of it in that divide, but if you think of it in plain terms, it was practically lynched. But now it's almost like almost everybody in almost every country is worshipping him. Think of Malcolm X. Oh, he's a dangerous man. And oh, what does he have to offer the black community? And why can't he just bear the master's last name? And why is he Malcolm X? What is the X? When I think of Michael Jackson, he blended his skin though. But he had that nose done though. And who cares if his hair was burnt? He fixed fake hair though. And now everybody's shouting Michael Jackson. When he was alive, did you keep that same energy though? Did you keep that same? And then Nipsey also, another person. Nipsey. Did you even follow him on Instagram when he was alive? Did you care about him? Why is he like? Okay, now you like him. Now you like his music. But when he was asking y'all to go listen to the songs, did you? Why did he have to die before you listened to the song? Why didn't you give him as much? Why didn't you tell him all the sweet things when he was alive? Socrates, that philosophy students. I mean, I like his philosophy to an extent. Oh, Socrates. Do you think Socrates? It was like, I don't know. It was pretty much like a riffraff to many people with the things that he said and how his thought process was, how it was built. It wasn't like that of many people. It wasn't like that much. But now it's almost like you can't do a philosophy course, at least basic level philosophy course, successfully without even hearing Socrates' words. It just has to be mentioned. Socrates, Plato. It's almost like if you do philosophy, just get ready for those two names. You get tired of hearing them. So this is just a few examples. When they were alive, they were not perfect. They were not good enough. But now that they're gone, they're dead. There are certain people, at least I know that Michael Jackson, for example, is being attacked again. But for the most part, people can see, people are now listening to the words of his song properly. It was liked. It wasn't that all of these people were terribly hated. Of course, they had people who loved them very much. But more people now like them now that they're gone. I mean, in general now, they're not deified or placed or semi-deified, than they were. I don't want to go into the mic. Just know, I just strongly believe in your heart that Michael Jackson is innocent. Let me just throw that in there because it's something that I'm very sure of. you know the charges, you know what's going on. I don't need to go into it, but it's another innocent that is being attacked, So, and there was a book that was published too that said, oh, Jesus was they said Jesus, I thought was it Da Vinci Code, or there will always be like some form of attack one way or the other, but until certain people die, they don't reach that honorable status. Okay, let me explain what this proverb means, because I don't want this to take too long. The human nature is such that it finds fault in other people and searches for their weaknesses until they are gone from the physical realm. Even when people do their best to heal the world in their own unique ways, other people still snoop around for their imperfections and accuse them of things that they're innocent of. So it's almost like, generally, at least the Yoruba people have observed, we've observed that to a certain degree, people don't see your good parts, the things that you're really doing until you're gone. Then they're like, oh, so like the reason why he had to make his hair that way was because his hair was burnt during a Pepsi commercial. Oh, I didn't know that he really actually went bald after that accident. Oh, I didn't know that. Or they may say, oh, so like the reason why he had his nose done was because his father always said he had a big nose. So his father, everybody always teased him and called him Big Nose. Oh, okay. It was actually just a sensitive person. It was just human like us. Why did we do that to him? Oh, now we're going to worship him. No. You can't just do that. You can't just treat people badly when you're alive and then suddenly make them a deity when they're gone. Why do we do that as humans? That's not what this proverb is saying. This proverb is not saying why. This proverb is just saying, well, it is what it is. A person is not often satisfactory when they're alive, but when they're gone, as soon as they're gone, they become a statue. If you have a statue of you done, for example, it means you're a great person. You've achieved something. You don't just make statues of anything or, anybody that is not even relevant to anybody or anything in one way or another. It doesn't necessarily mean that, the people, you have to have a statue of you done. It's just the metaphor for you being enshrined or immortalized or honored or even, let's say, deified. Famous people aside, if anyone else dies tomorrow, people will begin to praise them and appreciate them, even if they never spoke about them or to them so nicely when they were alive in the flesh. That's the fact. Yoruba people have studied the world for quite long to be able to come up with that conclusion. I don't know if it's hypocrisy. To an extent, I would say yes. To an extent, it's no. It's not necessarily hypocrisy. It could be, let me get a tattoo of Nipsey Hussle so that I can show to my fans, so that I can gain some of his fans and have them believe that, I loved them so much when he was alive. Or let me dedicate this song to so that they'll know that there can be an hypocritical side to deifying someone after they're gone or enshrining them. But it could also be because you never do that more research about them. Like dog food, you always just want to, I don't know, follow the mob. I think there's a following the mob mentality kind of thing with people. Think of Amy Winehouse, for example. People, when she was alive, it was like, she's loud, she's abusing certain things. People don't really care about your struggles, or they really never want to know what happened to you as a child, or whether when your mates were playing outside, you were being forced to record and do the work of like an older person, even as a child, and so you didn't have any childhood, and you're trying to heal yourself. So it is after you're gone that people really start to care and say, so are you saying that? Okay. Okay. That's interesting. Or, so we thought Jesus just moved with the bad guys in the society. So did he actually like heal people? Oh, okay, let's include that in the Bible. Let's honor him that way. Oh, okay. Oh, he was clairvoyant. Okay. So usually that's the kind of energy that people have. Is this good? No. So the question to ask yourself is, how can you change this in your own life? Is it until I don't want to say the Kardashian, or I don't want to say the name of any celebrity that is a bit controversial right now. But is it until that person dies and you start to flip back into their life and you start to see documentaries of their struggles in life and you start to see all the good things that they did before you actually respect them and treat them as a human being? Is it until they're gone? Or this would apply to people that were good, though. Obviously not everybody would become there are people look at Hitler, for example. He's hated by many. So it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody would reach this status. So people that are mainly good, and the interesting thing is that people that are that good, people that are like ascended masters or something like that, tend to have some kind of behavior or some kind of attitude. Even Jesus had to like tell people to leave the temple with all their stuff and sell elsewhere. So in human terms, they'll kind of be viewed in a way that, oh, why is it doing that? Okay, why did they have to do that though? They will have some kind of imperfections based on human terms, humanly divine terms, if that makes any sense. They're not perfect. They don't even deserve our time and our attention. It is until they're gone that we say, oh, okay, oh, she actually wasn't that bad. So the question to ask yourself is, how can I change this in my life? How can I start to recognize people, mommy, for their life purpose, for what they're on earth to do? How can I start to respect them and treat them well? Whether or not I agree with many of the things, especially if they're good people with imperfections, how can I start to respect them as human beings, even if I don't necessarily agree with everything that they're doing fully? I'm just hoping that this would make sense to you somehow. You would be able to consider this. Èèyàn, sunwon, Láàyè, dere. If you have any questions regarding this, please don't hesitate to ask. Please like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to. And don't hesitate to support my channel in whatever ways that you feel led to, through liking, subscribing, sharing, Thank you so much. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and goodbye.